Hey, it's Dan from Typology Gifts. I have a slightly more serious video to show you today. So I'm going to start off on a lighter note, and I'm going to show you a trick that I taught my dog, Gooby, and then we're going to get to the serious stuff. So here we go. Sit. Good boy. We're going to do one more. You ready to do another one? Yeah? Good boy. He's a natural. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. Today's video is about a fairly well-known personality in the MBTI community on YouTube, and we're going to take a look at what some others in the MBTI community are saying and examine the evidence and try to understand some of the criticisms that have been leveled against CSJOSEPH and try to figure out, has he been mistyping himself, and has he mistyped other people? Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, it's Eric Dory, and I just want to talk about CSJOSEPH and his method of typing people. I was looking at his recent live stream where he typed Eric Strauss from Talking with Famous People. I don't know if anybody else got this feeling, but I got the feeling that his method of typing people and this evidence and how he supports his typing is extremely shallow. What it sounds like based on his last live stream is that he is simply taking what the other person is saying and echoing it back to the audience and using this as evidence, giving no kind of background or explanation, just sounding super confident about what he says, expecting other people to know what he means and to agree with him.
I do not want to watch that one there.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. My name is host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People.
I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. I think that'd be pretty obvious. I mean, isn't that great when people like state the obvious? I mean, I do it all the time, right? Hey, it's Chase with CSJOSEPH.life. Okay.
Normally, this is the kind of method I could expect from somebody who was very new to typology. People who are new to typology are very quick to look to superficial or stereotypical evidence when typing other people.
The most basic kind of NI is when to throw the spear. You're a hunter, you're SE, you're waiting for this, you're hiding.
This is a very boring interview.
How strong the pushback is and how much.
I think it's pretty obvious at this point that this guy is super control. Like, he is just taking his jolly sweet time to actually say something, right? I mean, but no. I mean, he's obviously the same type as CSJ, right? You know? I mean, I move a lot around in my chair, you know what I'm saying? But this guy, you know, is like, oh, control, right? Oh.
Again, I'm not hiding shit. Again, I am what you see and what you get.
I am what you see and what you get, said every ESTP ever.
You have to understand the feelings and the intentions behind people's actions to truly know their type. Type is more than just behavior. It's behavior included with intention. So we have to know that the person in acting a certain way also has the right intentions of doing so. And these kind of things we can only know from truly having a conversation with another person. And that's why a lot of time, most of these typing services, typing famous people, can only rest on superficial evidence or first glance behavioral perspectives.
Remember, this live stream is a live stream born of an exercise.
Remember, this live stream is a live stream, very concrete. I'm going to tell you what is while being initiating and being direct at the same time. Anyway, the point is, guys, he is an ESTP. I'm not even going to bother going and listening to this spittle and wasting your guys' time on this. We got other people to type tonight, but yeah, sorry. If you're out there, host Eric, you are an ESTP, and I mean, I'm not going to label you delusional or anything, but I'm sure you'll be happy to label me delusional. So enjoy yourself, good sir.
I just want to weigh in and say I don't really think it's a fair assessment to type Eric Strauss as an ESTP.
one way you can recognize NE when it encounters, I've noticed there's this thing I just named it right now for this, but I didn't really have a name for it except it's sort of a tangle, and I call it a Nettie tangle, which is when your NE overruns your TI, so that you do this sort of thing. If you're talking to somebody who's like, and then like that shit, like he's. If I was gonna go down this angle, but look, okay. But I was talking about angle before. Remember how if you get a tangle where somebody, even if they're talking at a normal speed, and then they start to go on a tangent and then come back and go around again, and they get tangled up and they sort of collapse a little bit, and you get a thing going on. That's NE.
My philosophy is basically this, and this is something that I live by, and I always have, and I always will. Don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone, for any reason, ever, no matter what, no matter where or who you are with, or where you are going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever. Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Like an improv conversation. Improvisation.
Let's let CSJOSEPH talk for a minute.
Let's just dive into the content and deal with all the frou-frou later, if you know what I mean. So, the trickster function, season 16, episode 7, what is the cognitive attitude of the trickster function? So what is the trickster function and where does it come from? Well, it was best defined by Dr. John Beebe. Dr. John Beebe is the man, and Mark Hunziker actually wrote a book.
Pathos. That's what I want to draw your attention to first, is pathos. ENTJs are pathological. Now, we use the word pathological a lot of times to attach to some sort of disorder or whatever. I used the word pathologize earlier today to refer to an INFJ's FE attack on somebody else. But pathological comes simply from the word pathos, meaning it's a critique of the person and it's analysis by the person, not by the argument, not by the evidence even. So one thing I'm going to have to admit some little inadmissible evidence here. I've seen before from this guy is he is absolutely fixated on attributing ideas to sources and on the legitimacy of these people and the fact that this guy is why you can trust this idea. That's a pathological argument.
And it wasn't until I started branching out, because my mentor, he taught me the way he was taught, but then he brought me to his mentor, and then I learned from his mentor, who was the master, and is still arguably the master this day. I mean, he's still, I like to think that I'm better than my second mentor in some ways, but he's better than me in others. So now it's kind of like, okay, now I have the same skills as the master, but there's still give and take. But the point is, though, it's really bad when you realize that the world is not flat, because that's kind of the type of beliefs that people have when they're utilizing the Myers-Briggs type indicator letter dichotomies. Those letter dichotomies are so ingrained in people, and the definitions of the cognitive functions, as they're coined by Jung, cognitive senses, it's completely different. And then to even make it more abstract, socionics, and then using socionics and comparing socionics directly to MBTI while studying under my second mentor, it opened a whole new world. And I realized, yeah, the world is actually not flat. But the problem is, if I speak about it, then everyone tells me I'm out of my mind. I think he called it Depth Typology. A very excellent book. I'm actually in the process of reading it. And as per a suggestion of the audience right now, and I think it will be made available as a book giveaway in an upcoming episode. So as I get my car studio figured out, which I filmed 3 episodes today in the car studio, because I literally set up a studio inside of my car. It's kind of like odd. It's like a little mobile studio or whatever as I drive, because I spend 15 hours a week driving.
Okay, no, he's talking about shit he's done and is doing. He's not talking about ideas, right? Because SE third slot. So he's either talking about how to do shit, dominant function. Talking about the truth, that's his tool function. Or he's talking about the rewards of doing shit, his third function. And that's C.S. Joseph in a nutshell. What is he not doing any of? Ideation. None.
John Beebe, read John Beebe so that you understand what it's all about.
When's the last time you heard me attribute something to anybody? When's the last time you heard me say, you know what's a great book full of good ideas? Never have I said that. Why? Because I don't read anybody's books. I come up with my own ideas. And if it's not my idea, I think it's dumb. Because I'm a fucking retarded ENTP who does that shit. Right? ENTPs are in some way entirely retarded. We would rather reinvent the wheel, have it be square and not work well, than use a round wheel that's right in front of us.
To a fault.
And that is our nature. This is not an ENTP.
No.
Prepare yourself, C.S. Joseph. You are going to the slammer, and I'm putting you in the squad car roughly, my friend. I've had enough of your bullshit. He's not an ENTP. He's not. Okay, so C.S. Joseph, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm going to cuff you right now. And I'm taking you downtown. I'm throwing your ass in the type jail where you belong. I think he's an ENTJ. I know he's an ENTJ. He's an ENTJ. But the thing is, I don't like being so definitive about what he is. I can be absolutely definitive about what the fuck he's not, which is an ENTP.
CSJOSEPH's primary method of typing seems to be purely semantical. He seems to look at purely the word choices of a person.
But the following day, my mentor comes up to me and he's like, hey, you know, I'm going to teach you how to do this right. And so I just threw up my hands, was like, all right, I know nothing, you know everything, tell me what I need to know. And he taught me a lot of concepts, including the type grid. And that's where I really got started, even though I already had a bunch of MBTI, Myers-Briggs related knowledge for, you know, half a decade already built up at that standpoint. And then I was taught a more accurate way after that, basically.
I see on his website that CSJOSEPH charges up to $200 or more for a typing session. If you want to figure out your type, you have to pay him $200 to get, without a doubt, certainty about your personality type. So that's the promise.
What do you think my type is?
So I would say direct initiating control. So you're very initiating. You've been initiating the whole time. You haven't really been so responding. You could be direct responding movement, but it might be cognitive transition. What's your quadra according to socionics? I would say definitely STP, NFJ quadra. So you'd be an STP type or an NFJ, specifically because I see extroverted sensing on an axis with introverted intuition and introverted thinking with extroverted feeling. You talk about emotions a lot, all about making other people feel good, you know.
You think I'm sensing?
Sensing or intuitive, I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. It's all good. So
And I was really surprised by this. A person with 25,000 subscribers, a person who makes this amount of videos, who has spent this amount of work on typology, using this kind of evidence to type a person.
I've never actually had any formal psychology education or training whatsoever. Quite frankly, I met my mentors while I was homeless and basically couch surfing to a point.
Yeah, those are, you know, the first steps to becoming good at typing, but they're not near enough to make you good at typing another person, and not near enough to make you charge $200 for doing it.
So what do you think? Who's right? Eric Thor and Eric Strauss, or C.S. Joseph? Weigh in the comments and let's talk about it. Make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and also come visit typologygifts.com if you'd like to find personality type based gifts for yourself or for the people in your life. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.